Money grabbing is nothing new in the gaming space, and that's to be completely expected, especially in the mobile space, because that's all the mobile space really seems to be at this point, is just games that try to leech as much money out of people as humanly possible. So sure enough, Call of Duty was eventually going to be released at some point on mobile, and the fact that they did release it is kind of interesting to see just how late to the party they were, or the fact that it's shutting down as we speak. Yep, a year after the release of a year after release, Activision is winding down on Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. Activision says COD Warzone has not met our expectation on mobile, which makes me wonder just what kind of expectations they did have, because I feel like they would be able to make an insane amount of money on mobile, and I'm pretty sure they must have. But the thing is that how on earth did this not make enough money for them, unless they're after like just an insanely large amount that just was never worth it. But yeah, a little over release, Activision is now pulling Call of Duty Warzone Mobile from the App Store and Google Play Store and ending support. So it released in March of 2024 on iOS and Android. Developed by Activision Shanghai and Beanox and Digital Legends and Solid State Studios. Support shared progression across console and PC versions of Warzone, which was an interesting idea, I guess, and is the second Call of Duty second mobile game after Call of Duty 2019's mobile, which is developed by Timmy Studios and continues to be supported to this day. So Call of Duty Mobile still very much going. Call of Duty Warzone Mobile, on the other hand, not being touched all that much, which I guess kind of makes sense. Effective immediately, players will no longer be able to purchase digital currency, and no further seasonal content will be released for Warzone Mobile. From Sunday, May 18th, so that was yesterday as of me recording this video, the game will no longer be available to download from stores. Players who have the game installed before this date will be able to continue to play online matches. However, going forward, we will be streamlining the scope of the game. The statement reads, "The decision was made after careful consideration of various factors, and while we're proud of the accomplishment in bringing Call of Duty Warzone to mobile in an authentic way, it unfortunately has not met our expectations with mobile-first players like it has with PC and console audiences." It continued, "We know this news may be disappointing, and we truly appreciate the support, passion, feedback, and dedication from our community. We have special incentives for Call of Duty Warzone Mobile players in Call of Duty Mobile and encourage other players to try it for free." Alright, so most of this article is basically just the statement regarding Call of Duty Warzone Mobile, and it's interesting to see the fact that it didn't do well enough to keep going. So it really does kind of make me wonder, how did this game do financially speaking, being the first thing, but the second thing also being, what were their expectations on mobile? Did they have expectations that were so unrealistic? The thing is that kind of thing would happen during your first outing into the mobile space. But the thing is that this is the second Call of Duty outing on mobile after Call of Duty's 2019's Call of Duty Mobile. So, and that is still being supported to this day. Again, both games still very much late to the party either way. It just kind of makes me wonder, what on earth were they expecting? And what were they going to do in the end anyways? Like, realistically, what would have they needed to accomplish? How much money would they have had to make for Warzone Mobile to be worth it? Or for it to keep going to this point? I don't know, but I feel like there's a lot of things we can look at and try to extrapolate from. Again, the fact that it shares progression with console and PC Warzone is a cool idea and a cool feature, but I'm pretty sure you're not actually able to play with people on these services, on like other consoles and PC and stuff, because I feel like people on mobile are going to be severely just like they'll have their back against the wall, I'm pretty damn sure, for the most part. So I doubt that like they're gonna be at a heavy disadvantage. I think that's what I was trying to say, and I just couldn't think of the word disadvantage just as I was kind of talking about it right now. I just thought that this was kind of an interesting thing to kind of bring to everyone's attention, because this is a pretty out there thing to see. I mean, Who knows how long Warzone is going to be around for? Who knows how long Call of Duty Online is going to be around for? I'm surprised that many sort of more classic Call of Duty titles still have, their online service still be available. And I think in terms of like achievement wise, the only thing I could think of that's actually been removed was the league play from Call of Duty Black Ops 2. And that game came out in like 2010, I want to say. So yeah, there's very few times where you'll see a shutdown or a removal of a Call of Duty product in some way, shape, or form. So like I said, it's just interesting to see something like this happen, and it's unusual to say the least. But hey, with all that being said, however, I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say about this. What do you guys reckon? Why? And you can get real like conspiracy theory if you want here. Why do you guys reckon Call of Duty Warzone Mobile is being shut down? And try to get crazy with it. I feel like saying, oh, it didn't make enough money is just the easy way out. It's the easy option. Try to think up of something a little bit different. But with all that being said, however, like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 500 subs by the end of the year. And with all that being said, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.